Hello. Okay, so I just watched Hans Rosling, The Magic Washing Machine, and then the TED Talk Cheryl done Our Century's Greatest Injustice, and so I just took a few notes and I have a few things to respond to. So I'll go ahead and start with the Hans Rosling, The Magic Washing Machine. To me, it was interesting because he actually had a washing machine on the stage. He talked about he was 4 years old when his family first got a washing machine, and it was such a big deal that Grandma was invited over, and Mom put the clothes in there and closed the door, and Grandma was like, "Let me press the button," and so she was just amazed at how much time that would save and how much work that would save, and it was just really interesting to think about not having a washing machine. I guess I take that for granted. He made a little diagram of the people in the world. So there's about 7 to 8 billion people in the world, and here, let's see, we can see my little thing right there. So that just showed with the little stick figures, 2 billion people live beneath the poverty line, and so that's under $2. And then 3 people live in an area of just above $2 but below $40. And so at $40 it's the wash line, and then 1 billion people lived between the $40 and the $80. And the $80, above $80 is the airline. So the 1 billion people that live above the airline have all sorts of amenities. Like, he showed different kinds of machines, he showed airplanes, just anything, like all the machines that we have. There's just so much going on. He made a point that was really interesting. He said even the green movement people use washing machines. So even the people that are like, save the world, green, save the trees, blah, 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 like, they're still using washing machines. So he said that in 2010, there were 12 units of energy being used, and he said in 2050 there's going to be 22 units used, and he said that's going to make a real difference. And one thing that he pointed out at the end was, he said, with washing machines, you have time to do other things. You have time to read. You have time to learn. So that was really interesting. The next video was Cheryl Wooden, entitled Our Century's Greatest Injustice. And one thing that she pointed out that was interesting was there's a cycle, and we need to switch from having a vicious cycle to a virtuous cycle. And I just thought that was interesting. She gave some examples of moral challenges. In the 19th century it was slavery, in the 20th century it was totalitarianism, and now in the 21st century is gender inequity. An interesting statistic she shared was that in India, for children 1 to 5 years old, there's 50% more girls that die than boys. And she said poverty comes because of overpopulation, not spending wisely, and people thinking that women are the problem, but really women are the solution. And she gives some points about sex trafficking and how during slavery a slave would be worth the equivalent of today's $40,000, but now a girl is worth only a few $100s. So that was interesting. Another point was maternal mortality, and it says in Niger 1 in 2 women die, so that is really sad. And then one woman dies every minute and a half in childbirth, so that is a lot of women. Usually it's because they're poor, they live in a rural area, and of course they're female. She gave a story of Ruhambumba, who was a teen bride at 13, and she had a baby, and then she had this thing happen during her birth, and she got shunned from her community, and so she was like, if I don't get somewhere else, then I'm gonna die this night. So she had this nerve problem, so she had to drag herself and scoot all the way to another city or a town, and then she went to this missionary's house, and he knew what happened, and then they had her go through school, and she became a nurse, so now she's saving all these lives. Then there was another girl that her family was given a goat, and then their family had enough money through milk and stuff like that to send their daughter to school, and she said, I am the luckiest girl alive because of a goat, and she said that when she graduated, I think vocational school. One thing she said was, we all have won the lottery of life, and now we need to live it. So, yeah, those are my comments from the videos.